Ubisoft has confirmed what had been floating around in rumors for a while now. The next Ghost Recon game is in development. It's codenamed Project Over, and for the first time in the series, it's going fully first person. That's not speculation anymore, this is official, confirmed directly by Ubisoft leadership in their recent financial meeting, and it's launching in 2026. Now this is a big deal. Ghost Recon hasn't really had a strong, clear direction in years. Wildlands had its fans, Breakpoint stumbled hard, and since then, there's been this feeling that the franchise wasn't sure what it wanted to be. Project Over looks like it might finally change that, and it's doing so by stepping into a space that's already highly competitive. First-person, tactical military shooters, but with its own angle. It's set during a fictional conflict called the Naiman War. We're talking full-scale regional crisis, a war-torn part of the world that's messy, morally complex, and politically charged. You play as an elite ghost unit dropped into this environment with one core goal: infiltrate, gather intel, and survive long enough to uncover a hidden traitor. That betrayal aspect changes everything. It's not just a war zone. It's a situation you can't fully trust, including the people around you. This isn't going to be a cinematic set-piece heavy Call of Duty campaign. Based on what's known, Ubisoft wants this game to lean more on atmosphere, tension, and slow burn immersion. You won't be sprinting through explosions, you'll be checking your corners, listening for footsteps, using recon drones and suppressors, and trying not to give away your position. Going first person wasn't just a visual decision, it completely shifts how the game plays. It makes the stealth feel tighter, the action more direct, and the pressure more intense. You're not commanding a squad from behind a shoulder cam anymore, you're in the boots seeing what they see. Every flashlight in the dark, every shot you take, every breath you hold while watching a patrol walk by, it's all more personal now. And what's interesting is how much inspiration Ubisoft is reportedly pulling from outside its own catalog. Internally, the devs have been studying games like Ready or Not, Modern Warfare 2019, and Squad, games that treat gunfights like tactical puzzles, not just arcade reflex tests. So don't expect Ghost Recon to go full run and gun here. Combat is supposed to feel heavy, recoil matters, sound design matters, flashlights blind you, smoke actually conceals, ammo is not unlimited, and when you screw up you'll feel it. There's an internal build floating around at Ubisoft that apparently already looks pretty impressive. It's using a new version of their Anvil engine, reportedly with significant upgrades. Environments are dense, destructible cover is back, and lighting is more reactive. It's all about realism here, not hyper-stylized visuals, but something that makes you feel like you're really there. The mud, the heat shimmer, the quiet before the breach. Now let's talk gameplay loop, because that's where the long-term appeal is really going to live or die. Missions won't be linear corridors, you'll be given targets, tools, and freedom. Whether you approach a compound via rooftops at night or blend into crowds during the day, the squad you bring, the weapons you carry, the tech you choose to deploy, all of it matters. Pre-mission planning screens are supposedly making a return too. This is a big deal. It means Ubisoft is taking the recon in Ghost Recon seriously again. Enemy AI is getting an overhaul. Enemies will reportedly communicate, call for backup, reposition, and even investigate sounds or missing patrols. Ghost Recon's previous games had a habit of dumbing enemies down once you learned their patterns. Ubisoft says this time that's not happening. They want the environment to feel like it's watching you back. That includes civilian presence, patrolling drones, weather affecting visibility, all of it factors into whether you survive the mission or not. Weapons are also getting more attention. Every firearm is being individually tuned. We're talking modular attachments, realistic handling, different ballistics for ammo types, and a clear separation between suppressed and loud play. You'll have to account for reload times, trigger discipline, and yes, whether or not your loadout is right for the mission you're walking into. There's no word yet on multiplayer, but co-op is almost guaranteed. Whether it's full drop-in, drop-out, or squad-based operations with friends, it's hard to imagine this game launching without that layer. What's less certain is PvP. Ubisoft might hold that for later or split it off as a separate thing. We've seen them do that before. Also, no early access, no public alpha yet, but insiders say Ubisoft is aiming for internal alpha testing by late 2025. So if things stay on track, this could be a 2026 release with marketing kicking off next year. That puts it squarely in competition with whatever Activision's doing next, maybe the next Battlefield, and a whole wave of tactical shooters that are heating up right now. Ghost Recon's reputation took a big hit with Breakpoint. People are still skeptical. A first-person reboot is a gamble. It could alienate old fans who prefer the third third-person angle. It could also end up being a poor man's Call of Duty if Ubisoft gets too caught up in cinematic tropes instead of sticking to the slow, deliberate tension that made Ghost Recon unique in the first place. That being said, the potential is there. If they lean into planning, squad coordination, and tactical realism, this could be the military shooter a lot of players have been waiting for. The first-person angle opens up new possibilities, more immersive breaching mechanics, tighter environmental awareness, and hopefully an AI system that feels responsive instead of robotic. The 9-man war setup gives them room to explore real-world inspired conflict without being tied to one side or one doctrine. You're operating in the gray, and narratively, that can go somewhere. Add in the betrayal subplot, and if they handle it right, this could bring a level of storytelling Ghost Recon hasn't really had in a long time. If it's polished, stable, and tuned for realism over flash, this could be the game that puts Ghost Recon back on the map, and maybe even competes with the bigger names in the genre. But if they chase trends instead of tightening the core, they risk fading into the background again, and all eyes are on Ubisoft now, because after years of missteps, this is their shot to prove Ghost Recon still matters, and that it can evolve without losing what made it great. Now, as promising as all of this sounds, there is a necessary level of caution that needs to come with any Ubisoft project, especially one with the weight of the Ghost Recon name behind it, because let's be honest, this is not Ubisoft's first time promising a return to form. It's not the first time they've hyped up a grounded tactical military shooter either, and frankly, history hasn't always been kind. We've seen them push marketing buzzwords like authentic, immersive, and player freedom before, while Lens started strong in some ways, but it became repetitive fast. Breakpoint, that was a total misfire. They packed it with a live service model nobody wanted, RPG mechanics that didn't fit, and AI squad mates were missing at launch, core features gutted. It wasn't until later updates that the game was remotely close to what people expected from Ghost Recon. And Ubisoft as a company has a pattern. They announce ambitious features, oversell them, and then deliver a product that feels either half-finished or over-designed by committee. Whether it's the Division 2's loot treadmill, Assassin's Creed losing its identity, or the infamous Ubisoft open world formula bleeding across all their IPs, this is a studio known as much for missteps as it is for massive franchises. Even the leadership has made questionable calls over the past decade, pushing NFTs under the Quartz initiative, greenlighting half-baked battle royale spin-offs that nobody asked for, and cancelling projects mid-dev cycle, not to mention the internal reports over crunch and mismanagement that have plagued them in recent years. Ghost Recon is walking into a space currently dominated by passionate indie studios who are building shooters with precision and community feedback at the core. Games like Ready or Not, Ground Branch, even smaller titles like 0 Hour, they're carving out loyal fan bases with nothing but smart design and a clear vision. Ubisoft needs to show that it's not just reacting to that success, but actually learning from it.